The retail sector has begun cashing in on festive demand after reporting a flat growth in sales between April and September. The Retail Association of India has said that demand for festive goods has risen since Dussehra. Premium goods seem to be the flavour of the season, and with that segment maintaining a high growth rate. However, the outlook isn't as bright for the auto sector, specifically the two-wheeler segment. This after Bajaj Auto has said that the motorcycle sales in the ongoing festive season so far are below expectations and the growth may just be 1 to 2%. And let's discuss all of this with two key guests who are joining us right now. We are joined by Kumar Rajagopalan, the Chief Executive Officer of the Retailers Association of India, and Giridhar, Vice President of the Federation of Automobile Dealers. Mr. Rajagopalan, how do you read the festive sentiment? Have things started looking up since Dussehra? Since the time the April to September period had been very flat in terms of growth, are things finally looking up?
Yeah, season's greetings to you, Parikshit, firstly, and to everybody at CNBC and the viewers. It does look good now. I think since the Dussehra started, the festive season cheer seems to be there. Many of the retailers are now saying that they are seeing double-digit growth. You may remember that most of the retailers were in the single-digit growth, or some of them are actually seeing negative figures up to September, but things seem to have risen. And there is a bit of a cheer in the market because customers are coming into the store. 2-3 things to keep in mind. One is that this time Diwali is earlier than last year, because last year Diwali was in mid-November and this time it's earlier. The second thing is that we always look at cheer from the point of view of how discretionary products get sold, but we are seeing that garments and things that are related to the occasion are getting sold well. Jewelry sector is also showing some growth. So those are good indications. Most importantly, I think we were seeing a big worry in the bottom of the pyramid consumption in the value segment, and that is also showing some growth now.
Right. That is good to hear. Let me also go across to Giridhar. Giridhar, what do you think is going wrong with the two-wheelers? This was supposed to be a good festive season. Companies were preparing with big discount schemes, high inventory. What's been going wrong?
Hi, Parikshit. Thanks for having me here. See, I don't want to comment about Bajaj Auto to be specific, but as far as two-wheeler is concerned,
I'm talking about two-wheelers in general. Yeah.
So, if you talk about two-wheeler in general, I don't think anything is going wrong with two-wheeler. We have the data with us for the first 10 days of Navratri festival, and if you compare it with last year, there is a good double-digit growth. And if you want to be specific to two-wheeler industry, it is 12% growth when you compare it with last year. Overall segment, there is a double-digit growth. The only segment wherein we've seen some headwinds is tractor segment, wherein we're seeing a negative growth. Rest, all the segments are in green. So the walk-ins are there, the customers are there, and in fact, if you know that we'd anticipated this demand this festival season, and we're still bullish. By end of this 42 days of festivity, we'll be able to achieve the required number. We're targeting 20% growth over last year, which translates into 45 lakh auto vehicles, comparing it to last year, wherein it was 39 lakh vehicles. So we're still bullish that we'll be able to achieve the numbers.
And two-wheelers specifically, how much are you expecting?
So it's approximately the
same. And how much has happened so far this month?
So I would not like to get into the numbers, but overall the industry, if you talk about first 10 days of the festivity, it is approximately 8.5 lakh vehicles have already been registered in India. When you compare it with last year during the same period, it was approximately 7.6 lakhs.
Okay, so you are saying that overall the festive season does look good even now. Mr. Rajagopalan, if I were to compare sentiments in rural versus urban right now, how does the sentiment look? Is it the same across the board?
Currently, that's the impression that we are getting. It's too early to commit because it's only about 10-15 days of this season yet. So far, sentiment seems to be nice and bullish. It seems to be similar. There is not much of a difference so far. We'll have to see as days go as to where this would lead. Like we already discussed, up to September was a very different thing. And I think in many months, it was the rural sector that really supported the growth for the overall industry because the metros were not doing as well. But now we are seeing growth on both sides.
Right. I would also like to ask you about the premium segment. The premium segment has been consistently doing well this year. When you speak about gifting and when you speak about luxury purchases, what are some of the trends? What are some of the product lines where you expect the highest sales?
Yeah, the good thing about the premium segment has been it's always been doing well for the last 2 years or so, actually right from COVID, frankly. And people have been buying for themselves. They are also, I guess, that feeling that I need to spend on myself was always there. But we are also seeing gifts getting picked up now. I think people are picking up items which can be very good as gifting. So if it's something which is stylish, if it's something that's like a perfume or something, if it is something that's a new electronic item, we are also seeing gifting happening in this. And I guess that this season is all about gifting, and we hope that gifting becomes bigger because immediately after COVID, the year was filled with people wanting to feel good for themselves, but are also gifting a lot, which did not happen last year. So we hope that the gifts part of the business really picks up and everybody does buy for themselves as well as for others.
All right, we hope so too, and a very happy festive season to you, Mr. Rajagopalan, and Mr. Sai Giridhar, and the entire dealer community in the country as well. On that note, let's get you a special report. Gold prices have been soaring, hitting record highs globally. In India, with the traditionally important festive season in play, jewellery brands are not taking any chances. CNBC TV18's Shivani Bajaj reports that many are innovating to ensure gold lovers can buy their designs even though prices are sky high.
Indians love their gold jewelry. They like holding it, they like wearing it. During the festive season and as the wedding season kicks in, this love flourishes. But with gold prices hitting record highs both globally and in India, there is some fear that demand may not be as robust as usual. Jewelry brands like Tanishq are finding ways to work around the soaring costs to tap into the growing demand. The festive season typically brings a 30% surge in jewelry sales, and despite the gold prices surging, brands are adapting to ensure they don't miss out on this key period. This is Tanishq's Navrani collection. In a bid to balance luxury with affordability, the line uses stones like moissanite instead of more expensive diamonds, offering customers value for money and variety in design.
We have also kept in mind, gold rates are really high. So we have ensured that despite the complexity of techniques, we have created products which are at we have a 41 gram necklace. It starts at that and goes all the way up. So there is a lot of innovation sitting in this entire collection to make it, easy on the pocket, at the same time, very, very, very differentiated from anything you see anywhere around.
For jewelry makers, the festive season, which accounts for nearly 40% of annual jewelry sales, is crucial. Even new-age jewelry brands like Tayani by filmmaker Karan Johar are keeping affordability in mind, giving soaring gold prices, especially as they cater to price-conscious but trend-loving millennials and Gen Z consumers. Enter polkis, color stones and diamonds.
The intent is quite positive. We've seen a drastic growth in our numbers. So there's definitely positive sentiment from a customer standpoint. We don't do typical gold jewelry. And the reason being the audience that you spoke of, right? The millennials and the Gen Z, they're not a segment or a cohort that's very keen to wear, what our moms used to buy way back. And that's the reason we've, emphasized on a lot of polkis, a lot of color stones, a lot of diamonds. Which the new age audience prefers. That's the reason the gold cost is not really pinching them.
Industry estimates suggest jewelers across India saw festive season 2023 sales jump 25 to 30% against the 2022 festive season. Industry bodies like All India Gems and Jewellery Council say jewelers sold around 25 tons of gold last year, generating approximately 25,000 crore rupees in revenues. So despite gold prices being almost 30% higher this year, both traditional and contemporary jewelry brands are rushing in to find ways to keep customers engaged. In New Delhi, this is Shivani Bajaj for CNBC TV18.
With that, it's a wrap on this edition of News Center. More news and updates continue right here.